July 2022. It's another lovely time, lovely opportunity to be here. We're live on Star Times 113 and Free TV as well. And it will be a thing of delight to have you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, OSBC TV on YouTube. My name is Benga Famino, welcoming you on board the personality interview segment of AM Cafe on OSBC TV this morning. Yes, as practice, we x-ray situations, current matters that affect all of us as a people, as a country, as a state, issues that are very important. And this morning, we will be looking at another critical concern that affects every one of us, precisely in the month of May. Earlier this year, Lagos State made an attempt at prescribing and placing a ban on Okada riders in the entire state. Well, not the entire state, but some key parts of Lagos, Etiosa, Lagos Island, mainland, Apapa, and a couple of others. To an extent, perhaps one may say that Lagos has recorded good success, maybe in enforcing the rule. Shortly after, precisely this month, it's beyond shortly after, the federal government of Nigeria decided to follow suit, placing a ban on Okada riders across the entire country. How far? Is it in all states of the federation? When is the ban expected to take effect? How realistic is such a decision by the federal government of Nigeria? Precisely against the background of the argument by many people that Okada riders, the business of riding Okada somehow keeps many people off crimes in Nigeria because of the problem of unemployment. Should the federal government proceed on placing ban on the business of Okada riders, what becomes the fate of the population of Nigeria that may be affected, and how realistic is it to execute such a rule? With me in the house is the round peg in the round hole. Of course, there's someone who is experienced enough to do justice to this conversation. Please welcome with me Honorable Ajibola Akinle, former member of Osun State House of Assembly. It's a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
This morning.
And to our viewers too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Yes, let me start this way. Let us consider an assumption that the state of virtues also felt like, because the federal government has made this rule, banning of Okada riding is going to be enforced in Osun. How realistic do you see this taking place in our state?
Thank you very much. One, if you look at our country, you will see that we have a rate of unemployment. And then, I am always objective in my analysis. If you want to do something, you want to ban something, there's supposed to be an alternative, because it's like a nursing mother. When you want to win, when you want to
win a child,
you have to.
You don't do it all of a sudden.
You don't do it all of a sudden. Then there's
gradually,
and there should be
something to support. Yes.
Yeah, but in this case, there's never been anything that can serve as something that these people will fall back on if the ban is implemented.
Are you saying the federal government somehow may have made this rule without taking time for thoughtful, proper
my own
thoughtfulness.
thinking, though, the banning it has its own advantage. That is its own advantage, because when you consider the rate of traffic accident, you will see that when you go to any hospital, you go to emergency unit, you will see that most of the road traffic accident is being caused by this Okada. I could recollect vividly some years back. I worked on the resistance genes of certain microorganisms to the antibiotics we are using. I took sample from various places from hospital. We collect sample from the emergency section, and to my dismay, we discovered that most of the accident victims are from this Okada rider.
How did you, if I may ask, sorry, there's you're sharing an expert opinion here. So how did you make your discovery?
You see, when you go to the hospital, one, they will take your record. If you bring a patient,
Okay.
they open a file. The cause of the accident,
It's recorded.
They will incident it.
Yes.
Then from that you get
Okay.
whatever information you need as
All right.
regards to that patient. You see,
So the highest data gathered.
the development to our economy too. They pay tax. They do so many things. But our problem, the government, they capitalize on this, the incident of bandits. Our problem is not that of the Okada rider.
Now, let's go back a little to the issue, the concern you expressed the other time that should you, using the analogy of winning a child, that you don't make it sudden, and you prepare that's an alternative to cushion the effect, something like that. Both the federal governments, state governments, we can see ongoing efforts to improve on the standard of our roads in Nigeria. We can see certain instances of efforts to improve on the transport system as it obtains in Lagos. Don't you think these are instances of alternatives that governments, both federal and states, are trying to put in place to be able to replace?
It's part of it, but not all. Let's be realistic and let's be sincere. You see, one thing that the federal government need to address is the issue of power.
How does that one connect with?
Okay, thank you very much. If you sample opinion, you will discover that most of these people that are riding Okada, larger percentage of them, they are either the weather barbers, and they need to use, even the electrician, radionic, and they need to use electricity. So in the absence of that, most of them
when business is not doing fine.
When business is not doing fine.
To an
even in the company, in those days, in 70s, 80s, go to Ikeja, we have so many companies that are functioning. We have Dunlop, we have Nigeria Textile Mill, you have Fekumi, we have so many things. I worked in one of these companies late 70s, but now because of this electricity, most of them are further. They are not in existence again, they are not functioning again. So if these companies are functioning, all these young graduates that are riding
Okada.
Saying
many of these Okada riders belong to the SMEs, small, medium, small scale enterprise.
Small scale enterprise.
Roadside mechanics and the like.
Roadside mechanics.
They don't have.
Look at the cost. Look at the cost of the diesel. Now, what the government need to do first, one, let our power, let it be stable. If that one is stable, then there will be, so many small companies we come up, and that one we absorb most of those people that are riding Okada on the road.
Okay.
So
Like we should they should allow a boost
Yeah.
in that sector,
In that
in the SME sector,
in
right?
that sector, instead of encouraging the importation of this generating set, some people are feeding fat on it. They don't want our life to be stable. They don't want it to be stable.
That if this petty engagements can do fine, many of them will not think of going
They
on
will not think of
Okada riding
no,
business.
Okada. It's a tedious job, but they don't have any alternatives. They have to live. They have to survive, and that's the reason why you see many of them on the road. And what we need to do, not all of them that are doing badly. What we need to do, our security, go to our road. You know, some of them, we have police on the road, we have VIO on the road, we have so many people on the road, and you see them every day on the road. What are they checking? What are they checking? Those that are supposed to be checking the license, are they doing it? Those that are supposed to be checking the vehicle, are they doing it? What they are doing, some of the VIO, they have their register. They have the register. They will write the number of the vehicle. And why are they doing that for? It's to collect this thing.
But just like the Lagos case, Lagos did not make it total from the beginning. Perhaps we should say Lagos decided to make it gradual, starting with like 5 or 6 local government areas. Maybe that's what the federal government is trying to do. What do you think?
Thank you. When you look at Lagos, you can't compare Lagos with many of other states.
Why?
They are small company that are coming up in Lagos, that some of these people can easily get something.
But if that were true, they wouldn't have ended up on the road anyway. If those vacancies were actually available, they probably wouldn't have ended up on the road.
It's true. But when you look at the percentage of those that are on the road, is
Don't you think most of the Okada riders? It sounds as if we can't really go forward in Nigeria without this restructuring thing.
Honestly, yeah, that's the only thing that can solve our problem. If the Senate, if the Senate is, you make it to be so weak, and you encourage the state, everything we are going to have a turnaround in the country, like Lagos. Look at Lagos. Lagos, if you allow Lagos to operate as they want to, I think something bigger, something marvelous will have been achieved by them. But they have their limitation. We have some states that have good managers at the end of affairs, but they have a limitation. Like this. Thank God for this. Look at what Bola Ahmed Tinubu started in Lagos. I think by trying to generate power when he was the governor of Lagos State. I didn't think he was encouraged, by the federal government at that time. All other states will have key him then, and this problem of epileptic power supply will have many things of the past, and that's one aspect of it. Then the insecurity too. The insecurity is part of it. If you are made to mind the affairs of your state, all these things that we are experiencing will have disappeared. So,
do you think this conversation we are having now will be sufficient if we put all the blames at the doorstep of the government and we do not touch on I mean, on the contributions of the masses, because Nigeria, we are very good at blaming the government every time, but maybe we don't take enough time to remind ourselves that the government might not be able to solve all the problems. For instance,